As God knows,
had prepared to receive the Cabinet Secretary for Interior. Of course, there are various questions that had been forwarded to him prior to his appearance this morning to respond to those concerns. However, you will also recall that during Tuesday afternoon sitting, that is the 10th June 2025, members of the Senate raised concern with regards to the mysterious death of the 31-year-old Albert Ojwang.
Mr. Speaker, with the older population that are already been trained, and also the ability for the National Police Service to have continuous training is constrained by resources and facilities. In fact, we might have this discussion another time. You know that all over the country, wherever you go, and for those who have been with me in the Jukwaa la Usalama, you realize that the National Police Service has many issues that needs to be dealt with. A police station, even for a police station to have a CCTV is just by luck, because some of them don't have OB, some of them don't have furniture, they don't even have a computer. We have shortage of vehicles. We have all many other challenges that this administration realized. That is why there was a police reform committee that was put in place to see how best are we going to enhance. And that's why we're doing procurement now for vehicles. We're trying to do digitalization and digitization so that if you had the DCI properly, it told you that part of the occurrence book is reported digitally, and that's evidence that cannot easily be erased, not like a book or a paper within the police station. So there's a lot of work that we want to do on digitization and digitalization of the police service. But the challenge we still have is to work on the resource constraint that we have. So police officers are asking for basics: a police station with a cell, a police station with a vehicle. At the moment, OCS is sharing a vehicle with OCPD and so forth. And all this we are working on as a ministry, and this is an area that I put a greater emphasis to see that the police officers are resourced to do their work. Again, on the issue of Senator Beatrice Ogola, I am very clear, Senator Beatrice, I am very clear in my mind. I saw the father of the late Albert Ojwang, and like any other parent, I felt the pain of that parent. And the only possible gift we can give them in the time that they have lost their loved one, and it's even more painful when it's the only child, Mr. Speaker, is to promise them that we will do everything we can and to ensure that justice is done, and to ensure that those who perpetrated this heinous act are put behind bars, Mr. Speaker, so that they can suffer the pain of having inflicted this grievous bodily harm, which eventually resulted in death of Albert Ojwang. Mr. Speaker, that is the little we can give. Of course, Mr. Speaker, as I said earlier, we are obligated as leaders and also citizens, and also within this leadership of this ministry, to support their family, like Senator Veronica Maynard asked earlier, so that we, in a small way, we can be able to facilitate and help them to find ways of comforting themselves. But I tell you, Mr. Speaker, there is nothing actually that can compensate the loss of a child. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, I stand with them, and I will do everything as a cabinet secretary to ensure that those who committed this act are brought to justice. Mr. Speaker, she has also asked what's the motive. I think the motive is a subject of investigation. Let's allow the investigations to go on. It will eventually reveal to us who exactly did it and why, Mr. Speaker. There are many indications, almost like the whole indications show that this is a crime that happened within the police station. Mr. Speaker, if it is confirmed that it happened within the police station, Mr. Speaker, I believe, Mr. Speaker, that those who will be found should be held accountable. But, Mr. Speaker, we must also find resources to expeditiously make our police station safe haven for those who are going there to get justice, and particularly to be brought before justice. Mr. Speaker, on Senator Manzo, is raised a very valid question. There are a host of regulations that whose period was terminated was past 10 years, and we had an omnibus extension that happened. But now there has to be, as I told you, there is a review process for the service standing orders. When eventually the review is done, it will be brought to this House and the National Assembly for purpose of approval. And I agree with you. It is not true that a policy must come here for it to be effective. That's not true. But for a policy to be a sessional paper, it must come to this House and therefore approved by Parliament. But if we want to have a policy for the sake of a policy, it can be adopted by the Cabinet after public participation processes, and it can still work as a national policy. Mr. Speaker, I want to confirm to Senator Seki and all others who are talking about whether or not I know whether the DIG should be held accountable or not, that I do not hold a brief to defend or in any way to accuse him. Mr. Speaker, I believe as a lawyer that evidence must lead to the suspect. And Mr. Speaker, when that evidence leads to that suspect, Mr. Speaker, in my office and any other office of government, no one should be able to block any processes of justice. What I hope we cannot do as a nation is that we cannot sanctify a process, a very heinous act that was done by criminals, somehow maybe through even a mob justice, if I put it that way. We cannot sanitize it, Mr. Speaker, by also carrying out mob justice against the other people. We must always, if we are calling for equity, Mr. Speaker, we must come with clean hands. If we are calling for justice, we must be ready to follow the legal processes, Mr. Speaker, so that we can lead us to the response. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Chute asked the question of, generally just captured the issue of OCS Marwa. OCS Marwa is a person known to me personally. I was with him in Marsabit just not long ago. And, Mr. Speaker, most of these police officers are suffering. Mr. Speaker, a lot of them are sacrificing for their country. I went to see some of the police officers who have suffered because of the operations in Boni Forest, protecting our country in the border, those who are doing a lot of operations in the Kerio Valley region and issues of banditry and the eastern and upper eastern areas. Mr. Speaker, there are many, many police officers who are sacrificing their time and energy to protect this country. Mr. Speaker, this cannot be a representation of the police officers. There are very few elements in the police office who are errant, who are violating the law, Mr. Speaker, but that does not mean we do generalization that the entire 120,000 police officers are all culpable. Mr. Speaker, even in this reform process and the work we have been doing, we've been trying to edify and praise those who are doing a good job, even, Mr. Speaker, as we hand over to a justice system process to those like the ones who have committed this heinous act to be held into account. Senator Tango has asked me, who is killing Kenyans? Mr. Speaker, that is a very good question, but better answered, Mr. Speaker, from an investigation process. Again, when I come back with a statement that was capturing the protests, the deaths that happened in the protests last year, when all of us, including Senator Tangwa and the group were on one side. Mr. Speaker, I will be coming with that statement back to the floor of this House. And, Mr. Speaker, when I do so, we will interrogate all the people who suffered as a result of that protest, Mr. Speaker. And again, we'll be able to know how far the investigation have gone. So let me not use this opportunity to enlist it, because already that statement is to our office, Mr. Speaker. The day I will be called again, and we were supposed to interrogate today, but the day I will be called again, we can be able to look at these issues. But Mr. Speaker, every case is investigated independently, and Mr. Speaker, every person who is held culpable is brought before justice. Mr. Speaker, Senator Kisang has said a true thing that, Mr. Speaker, perhaps, Mr. Speaker, we should be also expending our energy to make sure that, Mr. Speaker, we deal with banditry. We are doing everything possible. Mr. Speaker, let me say this. The problem of banditry, particularly where Senator Kisang comes from, which is also my home county, Mr. Speaker, and the entire Kerio Valley, has been a problem since 1975. Mr. Speaker, it had been so intensified in the last 2 years that it was a big problem 2 years ago. Mr. Speaker, the statistics I have, and I really challenge anyone